Well, good evening, Chameleon Academy. It is wonderful to be here again on this Tuesday question and answer session. And just so everybody knows, this is a live show. And if you're watching the replay, know that you can come and be part of the live show every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, where you can come and you can ask any Chameleon questions you want. And we're here open for questions or just to hang out. I know a lot of people just hang out. And we have fun doing that. Everybody, the hair is, I just got a haircut for those who are new to this. And it is it seems to be like growing up. So I'm getting kind of a poof up here or something like this. And the story is that I told the hair guy that I've gone to for the last 6-7 years, I don't want to see you for a long time. And he took that seriously. And so I got it's my own fault. It's my own fault. So James says, so you're saying your hair is getting older. My hair is getting taller. It's like growing up. Matthew King's asking, how's it going? Well, obviously I got issues with my hair, but hey, yeah, well, it looks clean. Everybody's getting their likes in. Thank you very much. Well, you said it was growing up. The dad jokes. We're doing good. Considinez says, have you ever kept a chameleon in a paludarium? I have a 36-inch tall by 18 wide Zoom med glass enclosure with a screen top. I have never done that. And I have no problem doing it as long as you do it right. And chameleons can swim. Just make sure that there's enough sticks going in to the water that the chameleon can get out. And then you have the challenge of keeping it clean. But other than that, hey, they stay in the trees. But on a cage that size, I would go for a carpet chameleon. Don't go for a panther. A little too small for a panther. Johnny Bravo. All right, I'm gonna own that. Yeah, I like that. Spearmint is not in the new enclosure yet. Almost. I am. I said he's been in quarantine for a year and such, but I haven't tested him for a couple of like a month or so. So I know he's supposedly clean. He's gone through all the steps, but I just want one more poop. But now that you mentioned it, I have it on the let's see, Twisted Head Rush. At least you have hair. Don't make me take off my hat. Yes, I will not complain. It's a good issue to have. So now Eliza says Johnny Bravo. Oh, well, everybody, we have, I have it on the best of authority that James Cross is in the chat here. Can anybody confirm that truly is James Cross? Because we don't do this for anybody, just anybody. But since I believe that he is here, it is time for the releasing of the fog. Now, let's go ahead and give a little bit more of the camera so we get a little bit more of the effect. Here we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a lot of fun. Oh, this is my my new bioactive cage. I'm using the Crosscuts bioactive stand here, and I absolutely love what I'm able to do with it. Let's get that camera back down. Oops. Come on. Don't go down. There we go. So I got, number one, I've got a drain down here, active drain. I've got this much substrate in there. And of course, I've got my leaf layer. And back there is my alocasia that's going to grow up into this little light corridor I've created. And then there's the, let's go back up. And that is the canopy. Now, I've done a very dense canopy because there will be a shamrock chameleon going in there, and they like to hide. For a panther, maybe I would have it a little more open. Now, that looks like a big halo of light. That's only because there's fog up there. But anyway, and let's, wait a minute. We got to say right here in the corner that's the feeder run cup. Now, this is significant because I've decided that I am only going to have one mister on this side, and it's going to be a double mister. I'm not going to have a mister on that side because I don't want it spraying inside of the feeder run cup. This one has a top, and so with this one spraying on the latch side of the door, it goes off, hits the plants, perfect, and it's protected. The insects are protected. So that's a strategy there. Now there will be condensation. There's no way I can stop that from being there being condensation because I have the fogger going on. And the shamrock chameleons, they love. Actually, I haven't met a chameleon that doesn't love a humid environment. Now, I'm not going to keep it like this during the day. This is mainly for at night. Right now, I'm just letting all the plants settle in. They're new in this enclosure, and so letting them acclimate. And a humid environment is good for them to acclimate. All right. Marcian's waiting for Don Julio, the Ustaleti, to poop again. He's had both doses of Totralzerol for his coccidia. Yes, now we're waiting. Need to channel all the hair energy to build growing a mustache for a Ron Swanson costume this Halloween. All right, maybe. I've been thinking I want to do Halloween. I need to get back into holidays. I haven't been doing much holidays. I keep being too serious about life. We need music. That's a good point. I think I can do something about that. I can do that. All right. How much does it weight approximate with the substrate? I do not know the answer to that question. I think I could figure it out. The thing is, I don't know what it takes. About two bags of 36-quart bags of terra firma soil, and then of course all the plants and the potted plants. So I do not know. Not the just like the box filled or something. If we can figure out. First of all, the box. See, the thing is, okay, I've got to wait for the entire stand, but not just the box. Okay, we're going to have to do some math to figure this one out. Update on I got to get that. Yes, I'm going to work on getting that. We need to figure out what's going on with the bifidus. Got my book on Monday. Tony got a book for his daughter. Everything looks great. Your book is beautiful, Bill. I'm glad you're enjoying it. My daughter will be very happy. Very good to hear that. Sak Shumungru. I say that differently every single time. Would you suggest adopting a 2.5-month-old panther chameleon, or is it too young? Sak Shumungru, that depends on where you're getting it from. Really, it depends on how much that 2.5-month-old chameleon weighs. Right now, I like the idea. Some of the breeders, actually, this was started by Jonathan Hill, Bipardalis, said he just doesn't want to send out a panther under 13 grams. And we keep saying a 3-month-old is how we want to send them out, but That's only because that's really easy to gauge. But really, these baby panthers, they grow at different rates. And so a 3-month-old panther from one breeder may be starting to color up, whereas another breeder is just still a little thing. It depends on how the conditions that they're raised in. And so it really depends. I would say get one that's 13 grams. Ask them to weigh it. So that's what I would say. No, not math. Sorry, James. Math. Okay, Renee's surgery is tomorrow. We're going to be keeping her thoughts. She's getting her ankle surgery, and we will need to hear how she's doing. Leo Tats is saying, what is the best light setup? Okay, well, we can look at what I've got here. You won't be able to see much. I like the Jungle Dawn LED bars, and I'm trying out the new Exoterra UVBs. They're T5 UVBs, and that is my favorite. Now, this is for a Shamrock Chameleon, which isn't going to want basking. But if I had basking, I would get a 60-watt, just a 60-watt bulb. I get Exoterra makes a 60-watt bulb and a deep dome fixture, so it has space between the bulb and the top of the cage. So that's my go-to lighting setup. And on this one right here, I have the Exoterra T5 UVB, and I've got 2 Arcadia Jungle Dawns up there. I really like the Jungle Dawns because they're skinny, and I can position them where I need them. And that is important in this one because in normal chameleon cage, you're worried about lighting up there. And yeah, you can adjust where the chameleon is going to be based on where your perching branches are. So that makes it easy. But in this one, I needed a little bit more flexibility because I have to get light down to this alocasia here. And so I specifically left a light corridor down the side. And so I wanted to be able to move my lights so I could get light down there. Now, it's also important, or an advantage, that I'm using a cage. This is a Dragon Strand tall hybrid cage. It's got white PVC sides. Black looks great. But if you need to optimize light within the cage, like I do for this particular setup, white is great because it reflects the light. And so this is I am building a light corridor down the side. Yeah. That's more than anybody needed to know, but hey, that's what we're here for. That's why we have this Q&A session, to just say it all. So, hey, Stephanie. Madagascar is delayed. Alex, no. No, Madagascar is not delayed. Why would you say something like that? No. We are going in January 2026. Like saying, what Exoterra light are you using, 200 or 300? For this one, I'm experimenting with a 100. Well, and that's because this is for a Shamrock Chameleon. If I was doing a Panther Chameleon, I would do the 100. So everybody, Exoterra has come out with the new line of T5s. They have 3 strengths: the 100, the 200, and 300. Now, I've just gotten a hold of these. So all I can tell you is that they are different strengths than the 5.0, 10.0, 14% from Arcadia. They're different strengths as far as I can tell. And so I am still getting used to when to use which one where. So this one up here, I've just turned on. This is the first time I've used the 100, and it has a much, as you would expect, weaker UVB. It's weaker than the 5.0 and the 6%. So the 200 it's roughly equivalent to 5.06%, not exactly. So we got to, once more, we've got to start doing some measurements, which I am going to do. But this one, since the Shamrock Chameleons, they don't really like the UVB. I did the weaker UVB. They're still going to get, I turned it on, and the initial spike was 3, 3.5, 3.6. And then it UV index of 3 at the branch, which it's gonna settle down. So I'm gonna have to see where it settles down to. I don't know. I want it between 3 and 2, but I don't want to go too far below. I don't want it to go below 2. And by the way, that's completely. I just pulled that out of the air. I don't know for sure where that threshold needs to be for the shamrocks. Working on it. Do my best to let you know. Steve says, all of my enclosures have 2 jungle dawns on them. I love jungle dawns. They work so well. Nate says, I also tilt the angle of the jungle dawn to spread light better too and not reflect on the acrylic. Okay. This is, yeah, you got it. When you have an acrylic door, sometimes you got to play games with where the lights are situated. And I will put my, one bar as close to the front as possible, so it shines down across the door, and also it lights the chameleon from my side instead of behind the chameleon. And if you light the chameleon from behind, it's fine, but it will be a silhouette, and then it will get a reflection. So by making sure that there's a light close to the front as possible, you cut down on reflections and you light the chameleon from where you are. Hello, Justin. Come in here and say hello. Oh, meant the shipment of animals from Madagascar. That's right. I'm going to get you that information, Alex. I don't have that information. I'm going to get that. I need that information. Got to work on that. I think what he's meaning is the original target date was the middle of June. So I'll get an update on that. Yeah. Marcia Ann says, my garage is nearly empty. That is so sad. That is so sad. Need to fill it with chameleons. I see a little silhouette of a chameleon. Let's see. Oh my goodness. We've got Yvette is here. Hello, Yvette. Very good to have you. Oh, you're here. Oh. Yeah, I was looking for Squishy to see. Squishy's hiding. Squishy is hiding. Says, Liza Ann says, you need to share your progress with us on the Circle Marcia. Reptile Room is a dream for us all. Yes, it is. So, oh, by the way, I need to let everybody know that we got kind of a compliment from Yvette. She mentioned that she really enjoys working with the people that come from the Chameleon Academy community. Apparently, all of you are sticklers for detail, and you ask the right questions, and you listen to the answers, and you understand the answers. So we got a pretty good compliment. Thank you, everybody, for making me look good with my wife.
My phone is not working right, so I can't be online.
Okay.
So just letting you know I was on, but it's just
okay.
It's whatever. But yes, thank you, community.
You can come on and say hello to everybody for. Okay. Sakshimungu is saying he's back. Is it true that chameleons cannot convert beta carotene to vitamin A? Hello, Red Reptile. And he should use direct vitamin. Okay, what Sakshimungu is saying is talking about the. Let's see what we're saying. Is talking about vitamin A, where chameleons get vitamin A. Vitamin A is a very important vitamin to chameleons, but we really aren't sure exactly where they get it. Of course, they've got to get it from insects, but insects generally don't manufacture preformed vitamin A. That's found in the organs of vertebrates. And so the way that animals traditionally get vitamin A is that they convert it from carotenoids. Beta carotene is a carotenoid. And so they get the carotenoid, and that provides the base of transforming it into vitamin A inside the body. Now, Gary Ferguson, a couple decades ago, did a study where it didn't look like his panther chameleons were converting beta carotene into vitamin A. And so, of course, that being the only study we had, we all ran with it and decided now that chameleons don't convert beta carotene into vitamin A. I would say we've got to be really careful. We just have one study. I would feel a lot more comfortable with more studies on that because there's been some people who have continually given beta carotene and their chameleons did not have vitamin A deficiency. That doesn't mean that the beta carotene was turned into vitamin A, because if you're feeding your crickets carrots and sweet potatoes, maybe they are providing the vitamin A. See, we don't know this, but there is a study that suggests that chameleons don't convert beta carotene, and so that's why since we don't know exactly where they get whatever they get, maybe they use a different carotenoid. There's like over 100 carotenoids, something like that. So maybe they use a different carotenoid. Or maybe they find something with preformed vitamin A. You say, yeah, well, they get rodents, birds, and lizards. Yeah, but what about the Brookesia? They're not big enough to eat any vertebrates. So to be careful until we figure this whole mystery out. And by the way, anybody who loves science, please, nutrition of chameleons, we would like you to grow up, go to school, and get your degree in biology and do studies on nutrition for chameleons. Thank you. That is my request. Now, that said, that's why we give preformed vitamin A. And we do it like every other week, just a little bit. Repashy Calcium Plus Low D has preformed vitamin A. Repashy Calcium Plus has vitamin A. Reptivite has vitamin A. So you look at the ingredients and say, does it have preformed vitamin A? Then we just give it every other week. Now, vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. So you don't want to, you got to be really careful with, like Repashy has just a vitamin A supplement. That thing has 2 million international units of vitamin A. Be careful with that kind of stuff because you can overdose. So, what? Oh, does Geraldine have a problem? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. I'm trying different electrolyte packs during this heat wave, so I know what to take with me to Madagascar. The heat and humidity is one thing I'm not looking forward to there. Yeah. Go ahead and try things out. It wasn't that it isn't that oppressive. So there is hiking, and so we do get warm, but and the 2 times that I've been there in these areas, it hasn't been horribly oppressive. That doesn't mean that in January it's not going to make me a total liar, because things are variable. But yeah, this is totally not that bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad at all. Yeah. Roman the Uplands, when's the next book about, Bill? What's the next book about? I'll see if you can make it the same dimensions. That would be terrific, as it'll sit very nice with the current book. Remen, it will be the same dimensions. Specifically, I want them to be the same dimensions. And the next book is going to be about your first chameleon. It's going to be the time between like the 3-month, 13 grams, and old age. So I actually have 3 books planned. The first book, the one that's out right now, Tiny Dragons, covers from hatchlings or incubation to juvenile stage. And then the next book, Your First Chameleon, will be from juvenile to old age. And then the third book is going to be about breeding chameleons. And they'll all be the same size, so they sit nicely on the shelf together. Zoo Zapping says, can I ask you a question about Brachysia? Yes, you may. You have come to the right place if you want to ask questions about chameleons. Please ask it. And if I don't know the answer, well, I'll try to point you in the right direction. Not a whole lot of information about Brachysia out there, but yeah, I'll do my best. Maricita. So tell me if I've spelled that right. Yes, said that right. I have a baby that's in the process of hatching. Congratulations. They broke through the egg yesterday morning, and now it looks like they went back into the egg. Is this normal, or do I need to help? Okay. At this point, there's nothing about that concerns me. You said it right. Excellent. I know we all get concerned when the baby doesn't come out of the egg gangbusters. And that is the preferable way, but some babies just take their time coming out. And if they've broken out but gone back in, it depends on what's going on. If it's a healthy baby, they'll come out on their own. When they're first coming out of the egg, they're absorbing the nutrients from their eggs, their yolk. So some of them have already absorbed that and are ready to go. Some of them still need to absorb a little bit more, and it all depends on temperature and how the incubation went and all that kind of stuff. But I would say at this point it is normal. As far as is there any time where it's time to help? That's really tough to say, because if the baby isn't strong enough to complete the hatching process on their own, there's something not right. Something's wrong, and that happens often, and it's kind of sad, but it does happen. It's not rare. But if they can't make it, this you know what? I'll just tell you what I will do, and then you make the decision for yourself. Because what I do is I just leave them to their own devices, and whoever hatches and is strong enough to hatch, that's who comes out. And of course, it's because I do a lot of breeding, and I send my babies off to breeders. So it's important that the strongest genes continue on. Now, if you've just got one and an idea is going to be a pet, well, then you want to do something. And I would say, but the thing is, if you do something, you could damage the baby who's just resting. And so I just feel very nervous about encouraging anybody to interfere with that hatching process. But once again, nobody knows the answer. You've got to make a decision on your own. And my personal decision is I let the baby show me that it is healthy enough. And but yeah, it's a tough decision when you're in there. But at this point, from what you're telling me, I am not worried with what you've said. So, oh, well, thank you very much, Zoo Zapping. You bought a badge. I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and let's see what Zoo Zapping says about Brachysia. I would like to know better on UVB lighting and climate. Do you think it's better to provide them? I have an Arcadia 2%, but heating the environment a lot, and I'm worried about temperature. Zoo Zapping, that is a very good thing to worry about. And I think it's important that the Brachysia have UVB, at least access to UVB. And it depends on also the species. There are some that go higher than others. Theli likes to go up high. But they will get very dappled. At least the ones that are commonly imported will get the dappled sunlight. So you could, and I know the problem that you're talking about. When we have our lights on, they heat the area. So what you could do is a two-pronged approach. You could raise the light up just a little bit, maybe a ½ inch or something. So if they still wanted to get the UVB, they could go up and still get the UVB, but there's a little bit of airspace between the light and the cage. And so that That helps the heat dissipate and not go totally into the cage. 3, you could have the UVB on for just 3 hours during the day in the morning. Chameleons can see UVB, so they know, okay, then they'll figure it out. This is the time that I got to go if I'm going to go. Also, the third thing is maybe give them a bigger cage. If your UVB light is heating up the cage, giving them a bigger cage would dissipate that energy more. So those are 3 things you can try, but you're thinking along the right path, being concerned. Bragui. Okay. I don't know the specifics about Bragui. The best thing I can say is go to my YouTube channel, Chameleon Academy, and there is there's going to be some interviews with Dr. Michael Nash, and he's been working a lot with Brachysia, and he may be able to, listening to that episode may be useful. So let's see. See, Mike Betts, my understanding is that herbivores use beta carotene to synthesize vitamin A. Insectivores do not benefit from beta carotene. Oh. Geraldine says, I'm sure I'll be okay. I just really hate heat and humidity. My favorite season is winter, and I avoid the sun so much that my doctor actually prescribed a vitamin D supplement for me. Yeah, so we spend a lot of time in the forest, but we also spend time on the side of the road. So, bring something to cover up. Sunscreen. Hello, Alicia. Let's see. I'm actually keeping them in a 30 by 30 centimeter in a quarantine setup. Yeah, and quarantine for Brachysia is really challenging. It's really challenging if you have to medicate them. But me need to do the blood work for a pre and post with kenazanthin and astaxanthin. Alex is talking about 2 different carotenoids there to see if maybe they are turned into vitamin A. I would love that information. Okay. Holy cow. 103 in New York City? Alex, oh no. I'm ready to get sold on Parsons Chameleons. Just waiting on the Chameleon Academy Certified Care Guide. Oh, James 3. Oh, no. Oh, ouch. Yes, it's on the schedule. I got to finish this video. Oh. Well, what James 3, what kind of Parsons are you talking about getting? Well, what is your vision? Zoo Zapping says, may I ask you one more question, please? Absolutely, Zoo Zapping. We have a half an hour left of this show. Ask away. What do you think about supplements for them? I feed them just using calcium. Oh, Zoo Zapping, that's a tough one. I have been giving mine the typical Chameleon calcium for every feeding, and then a dash of Repashy Calcium Plus Low D every other week. And so that's what I do. And that's what I do because that's what I do for all my chameleons, not because I have determined that that is the right thing for Brachysia. They bred. I got babies. And so it didn't harm them. That's all I can tell you. So I don't, I can share that with you. That is what I do. But I'm careful about fat soluble vitamins with them. So I use Repashy Calcium Plus Low D, not the regular Calcium Plus. So Eliza and Bill, can we get a care guide for James 3? He needs one bad so he can experience the joy of Parsons. Oh, it just touches my heart. Oh. James would be pretty awesome. If timing worked out. I know this guy who has 2 females. That's right, everybody. I've got 2 female yellow giant Parsons chameleons that that need to go to a new home. So if you're interested in a female Parsons chameleon, yellow giant, long-term captive, they are nice, plump, eating well, and so they're in wonderful health. They've been with me for over a year. Then contact me at bill@chameleonacademy.com and we'll talk. Oh boy. Ray's got a question about poop. Came to the right place. This morning I found my chameleon's poop has a brownish green tint. What would cause the green? Is it something concerning enough to take to the vet? No. With poop, so many different things can change what the poop looks like. So what I suggest with poop is that you just wait until it happens with 2 or 3 poops. Then there's something consistent going on. But the consistency of the poop, color of the poop depends upon what they eat. And all you have to do is start giving them hornworms, because you just got a bunch of hornworms in, and now your poop's going to look different. That's just an example. I don't know if you're giving hornworms, but it is important for us to, like, you've noticed that there's a difference in the poop, so that's very important. You have a something that says it's time to look for other clues. So, and this is what we do with chameleons. We watch our chameleons closely, and we know their behaviors. And so when there's something that's not right, that's out of sync, that's a warning flag. Whoops, okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong. All it means is, okay, now I've got to look for other clues. Yeah, are they lethargic? Are their eyes closed? Or any of these other things? And so when you notice that the poop is different, start looking for other symptoms, other things that can tell you that this isn't just some strange gastrointestinal thing that came from some cricket or something. So just keep an eye out, Ray. If they're being active, eyes are looking all over the place, they're acting normal, except for this, then don't worry about it. But this is putting you on, okay, let me see if there's anything else. So, Sakshumungru, would you recommend washing new plants with soap and water, or is only water sufficient before adding them to your cage? I don't. I rinse them off. I don't wash them. The washing, originally, the idea of washing the leaves is when people were worried about contact pesticides that were on the leaves. Most nurseries don't do the contact pesticides anymore. They do systemic, which is inside the plant juices. And this is an advantage because the contact poison on the outside would kill the beneficial insects that were eating the pests. So they went to the systemic, and that way it's inside. It doesn't hurt the beneficial insects. It only hurts the insects that are eating the plant. So with the systemic pesticides, washing the leaves it doesn't really do anything. So I just rinse it off. Okay. Sue Zapping says, can you tell me the exact model of calcium you use for your chameleon? Oh, I use different. Like right now I'm using Arcadia Earth Pro A. So it's just got calcium and carotenoids and some B vitamins, and that's it. But any of the calciums is fine. Calcium is so basic that it really doesn't matter what brand you go. Just make sure you don't get calcium with vitamin D3. So no vitamin D3, but any calcium you get is going to be equivalent. So we don't have to get specific on the calcium. Now, the multivitamin I get very specific on, because different multivitamins, like I say, Repashy Calcium Plus low D, because I know that that's got a low amount of the fat soluble vitamins. Repashy Calcium Plus has a higher dose of fat soluble vitamins, which is okay with panther chameleons, but on Jackson's chameleons, it can really mess them up. So if you just stick with a low D, which is still effective with panther chameleons, then you get an extra layer of safety. So that's what I do. Okay. Okay, we're trying to experiment with other gut loads. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, Ray. If they're not, we're talking about Ray is seeing different things in poop, and yeah, it's all about figuring out what the pattern is. Different gut loads, different feeders, and see how the poop changes. And then who knows what it could have been. It may have been something completely different, and you'll never see it again. It's just if you still see it and it's consistent, well, then you can mess with the ingredients and you can see what causes it, and then you've got a very cool data point. If you can make it disappear and make it come back by adding something to the gut load, I want to know about that, because that is a very cool when you can actually have a direct a connection between something that we're doing, as in gut load or feeder insect, and the poop color consistency. That's a very interesting thing. I want to hear about it. So Ray, if you have some, if you find anything out, please let me know. Monster on 34th Street says, what if one of my panther chameleons is staying small or growing really slowly while my other one is growing fast? First of all, make sure that they are separated. If they are together, then the problem will get worse and worse and worse and worse. So first of all, I don't know what your situation is, but for everybody, make sure the babies are separated. Absolutely. Number one, biggest problem with a discrepancy in size is when they're together, because one becomes dominant, one becomes submissive, and one of the passive aggressive things that the bigger one does is it steals the food from the smaller one, or it intimidates the smaller one so the smaller one doesn't eat. And so that is a very real thing that happens. And Monsta, if you do have them together, and I don't know for sure, but if you do have them together, separating them may totally solve the entire thing. Now, if they are separate and one of them is just growing slower, you can check. There are three things that, you check the husbandry and make sure. I'm going to assume that the husbandry is the same, but let's just go over it. You check the heat, make sure they're getting enough heat, make sure that they're getting enough food, as in the food's not escaping and hiding. So they're getting the food. Make sure that the food is getting the good gut load. Make sure it has the light and the water and all of these things. Now, usually when you have two chameleons that are sitting right next to each other, they're getting the same care. So if you've got one that is growing faster than the other and they're not together, if they are together, that is the biggest problem, biggest thing that has a discrepancy of size. But if they're not together, then I would just say, don't worry about it. As long as they're eating and they're pooping, they will hit a growth spurt. Just make sure that you have enough nutrients there and everything around them in the environment that they have everything they need when they hit the growth spurt. So I wouldn't worry about it unless they're together. In that case, worry about it, separate them immediately. But if they're already apart and one's just going slower than the other one, that's okay. Each one of them comes out of the egg with different nutrients, and so maybe this is the runt, and he just needs to catch up. The good news is they will catch up as long as you give them, as long as they're separated, and as long as they have good all the good nutrition and heat and UVB and all that kind of stuff. They generally catch up. And If they don't, if this guy is a runt and he stays small, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe it makes it harder to sell him, but he'll be healthy. So, yeah, I mean, maybe healthy. I mean, he'll be small but healthy, and that's okay too. So yes, they are separate. Excellent. They are separate. Could be escaping food. Okay. Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Okay. We're talking about the origin of spitballing. Yellow-lipped or yellow giant, whichever gets the biggest. I don't know which one gets the biggest. I think yellow giant was rumored to get bigger, but they're both pretty massive. They both will draw blood when their back legs grab into your finger because they're just holding on. Yeah. That's the same as orange-eyed are different. We have the yellow lip from the Rana-Mafana area. We have the yellow giant, which is kind of Bohemana. It's on the way to Andasi Bay. And the orange eye we see in Palmarium. I don't know exactly where their range is. So, but ask James. I mean, he was there in person. He communed with the Parsons in their all three of those. He communed with those Parsons in their native land. They're saying yellow lip is the blue and yellow one. Yes, the yellow lip is the blue Parsons with the yellow around the lip. The orange eye is the bluish Parsons with the orange eyes, and the yellow giants is the ones that are yellow. Yeah. And we do have yellow or green giants, which are very rarely seen, but they're like the biggest ones, and they're kind of green. Felicia says, Bill, after all this treatment, Cash doesn't even like me putting food in his home. I think I'm officially the devil to him. Still not 100% done, but close. Yes, this is a problem. Alicia has a panther chameleon named Cash, and she has there's some coccidia and an eye issue, and so she's been treating Cash, and chameleons have long memories, but you will be able to smooth that over once you're done and you start not giving him medicine every time you're around. He will start developing a better relationship with you. So yes, it's heartbreaking right now, but go ahead and just keep with it. He will eventually forgive you and go on. See, Sakshumungu says, I'm getting a 2.5-month-old panther chameleon in addition to an adult I already have who is being treated for coccidia. Won't be in the same room, won't be sharing any tools or bins, but how can I decrease even more the chances of the new one getting coccidia since I know it's highly contagious? Sakshumungu, the best way to quarantine a new chameleon is to have them in a different room with all different tools. See, our hands are the things that transfer the coccidia the easiest, and it's so easy to be transferred. And so you want to make sure whatever is being used for the one with coccidia doesn't get used for the one I gotta plug this in, doesn't get used for the baby. And do take care of the baby in the morning. Take care of the one with coccidia in the evening. So separate it both in distance and in time. And you do the new one that doesn't have coccidia. You take care of that one first, and then you go and take care of the other one. You don't even have to do it like morning and night. Just do the one without coccidia first, and then do the one with coccidia last, and then take a shower and do all this kind of stuff, and that should do it. That should do it. The biggest problem is when things get on our hands, and then we go. So. Now, Alicia, 10 days worth or eye drops. She's being treated for isospora. That's coccidia. Didn't you get toltrazerol? So that's only 2 doses. So do you have a different medication schedule? Let me know what's going on there. So, let's see. Let's go good. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to get to where. Let me see. All right. Okay, I think I've been caught up. I'm sorry, everybody. I got really behind in the chat. And there's a lot of fog. Yes, I do have a lot of fog behind me. I am fogging my plants and helping them settle into the cage. Hi, Bill. How is Mr. Sammy Snail doing? Oh, geez. I haven't checked. Yeah, Sammy Snail is a snail that has. Boy, I look kind of. I got the shadows on the Instagram. Sammy Snail is a. Oh gosh. Unfortunately, I can't see Sammy Snail. The only time I see Sammy Snail, and everybody's wondering who's Sammy Snail. Well, in my bioactive cages up here, which by the way are not intentionally bioactive, they are naturalistic. And I go in the morning, and I went in the morning, and I noticed that their snails have started to breed inside of there. So there were some snail eggs that came with this. And the biggest one was Sammy Snail. And that's what the community called him, Sammy Snail. So I guess he's Sammy Snail. I don't know if there's a he or she. I don't know much about snails. And as far as I don't know, Ray, I haven't seen Sammy. The thing is, I got to catch him right when the lights come on, because they come out during the night. As soon as the lights come on, they go hide under the leaves. Oh, gosh. I get I have all of these guys here that are more popular than me. I tell you. So Zuzapping is asking, what's your favorite chameleon species? Just started keeping them. Even if I have many other animals, they're really amazing reptiles. Yes, they are. My favorite chameleon species is Caluma o'Shaughnessyi, what I call a shamrock chameleon. And I really liked those. Jason's asking about outdoor keeping, how to hydrate outside. I get the misters get these drip systems from Home Depot that are meant for outdoor drip gardens. And they have some misters, or you just put these little 1/4-inch sprinkler heads from, they have these drip systems, and they have these little attachments. You just put misters or sprinklers and run it off of the hose. That is the way to do it. The mob demands squishies. My goodness, the mob is doing a lot of demanding today. Let me see if Squishy's neighbor's around. Oh, hey, there we go. There we go. Squishy's neighbor. Got a little bit of color coming in there, Squishy's neighbor. We got to figure out if we truly believe that you're. Let's see. Are you really on Banja? We'll see. There he is. So, thinking this is a male. There we go. Okay. There we go. Squishy. Just you reconsider. Yeah, Squishy Ray. Squishy won't come. Isn't coming out. Squishy ran away. So. Steve's Brevicorn have to be at the top of list of favorite chameleon. Yeah, Steve has this awesome male Brevicorn. So Brett is so excited to get one. You want? You want him? Okay. All right. Yeah, Jason, as far as fogging, I don't worry about fogging outside. It's kind of hard to get fogging to be effective because I don't want to enclose in the area. I mean, you can go, you could really get a huge fogger if you wanted. I don't know how effective that would be. But I've always connected them to the hose faucet. And sometimes I put a calcium filter on the hose faucet. So you just get a timer, one of these cheap timers from Home Depot, calcium filter. So depending upon how hard your water is. And I just do a lot of misting. And that actually works quite well. Well, I like it. So, okay. Contradicts what we would do inside. Everything outside contradicts what we do inside the house. So it's just totally new. The concepts are the same. The execution is totally different outside. So it's almost like hybrid cage husbandry is different than screen cage husbandry, which is different than outdoor husbandry. And so we hopefully, when we start off, then we memorize these numbers, but as we grow in the chameleon arts, we realize these different numbers all kind of, they have a common core of chameleon, the needs of the chameleon. They're just executed differently. And so it's that core that we really want to learn. I'm not terribly picky, but I'd love a male Flappy Flap. I already have a name picked out. Already previously talked about having dart frogs. I have one dart frog, and I haven't showed their enclosure. It's not as spectacular. It's a functional enclosure. Let's see. Dark Morphs 93. Hey, Bill, any advice breeding fruit flies? Well, it depends. Yes, I say do it, especially if you have babies. And I don't. I do have some advice. I would say number one, start it before you need them, and I use the premixes. I've done the premix, and I've mixed my own ingredients, and I got tired of mixing my own ingredients, so I just go with the premixes now. So, all right, everybody. We are coming to the end of today. So let's go ahead and put any of the final questions, comments in. And I could ask James, do you think that it's time that we have a second releasing of the fog? Should I just should I just disappear in the fog? Should I have the fog come in and then disappear in it? Oh, yeah. So, all right. All right, everybody. I want to say thank you very much for spending this time with me. Next Saturday, I haven't figured out what we're doing for next Saturday. I will be here. The thing is, we have our big show. We have 3 big shows a year. And next question, Maracita, I will get to your question. We do have one more question yet. So I don't know what I'm doing, whether I will do the show from the reptile show or I will go to the reptile show after I do this live show. I've often, when I do the show from the show, it gets very difficult. That was it didn't work out so well last time. So it was a great idea, but it didn't work out so well. So I will figure out what's going on. I'll probably do this. We'll do the show here, and then I will go to the reptile show afterwards. I'll take a bunch of pictures, video, whatever, and show on Tuesday. So, all right, everybody. Go to the show, spoil Yvette, and then catch up with us later. You know how I'm going to spoil her? By getting her isopods. A little, she loves isopods, and she has been she's been having so much fun with different little isopods. So that's kind of a new thing. So we'll get her some. Maracita says, I do have one last question. At what age should I feed my chameleons every other day? Maracita, I would say when they become adults. And your next question is, when is that? We don't know. It is something that you're going to have to judge when they stop growing their body and they start growing wider, fatter. So it's going to be something where you, as the keeper, just get a feeling, okay, wait a minute. I don't think they're growing proportionately anymore. Now they're just starting to get rotund. And so once you see that, once you feel that, you can just start pulling back. Now, there's all sorts of signs before this happens. They get their adult colors. They start giving you signs that it's coming soon enough, but it's not something where you have to, there's a time where you have to start, you have to switch over. You can go over a little bit and say, oh, okay, I noticed that the pads in their head are kind of pushing out. So I think he's getting a little bit fat. So it's like the head pads, like in a panther chameleon, if they start bulging out, okay, then you've got your clue. And there's no time when that happens. It's no disaster. You just start pulling back on the food, and their weight will stabilize. So, what kind of isopods? Rubber ducky, panda king, Montenegro. I do the dairy cows, which are not terribly exciting, but that's because my chameleons chew on mine. Wild horse. Oh, Janet has zebra isopods. Those are really cool too. Yes. Jason's asking, how often should I be misting outdoor cages? Whenever they need it. When you're outdoors, there is no set schedule. It depends upon how the temperature is because you're using it for cooling. As far as for drinking, I would say 1 or 2 times a day. But when you're outdoors, misting is also for cooling. And so it really depends on what your ambient temperatures are. So Alicia says, those little roly-poly bugs, what do they do in bioactive? They are detritivores. I just thought they would share. They love carrots. Yes. They're detritivores, which means they eat like decaying leaves. They'll eat some vegetables. They'll eat poop. So they just scavenge around. They eat the stuff that's around on the floor. They're used as a cleanup crew. So Eliza Ann's got dairy cows. And then I got red pandas. Red panda. Oh, yeah, she just got some red pandas. That's right. Red pandas. Yetis, penguins, and powder orange. I know powder orange. I do have some of those. I haven't heard about yetis and penguins. Yeah. So I can send you some Hoffman. I don't know what that is, but it sounds interesting. I will take you up on that, even though I don't know what it is. One zebra. Yeah, zebras are really cool. Might have babies. Oh, yeah. All right, Janet. we would all love to have babies, zebras. Okay, Jason, you're looking for a schedule that doesn't exist. You can you're just going to have to do a schedule. Let the chameleon tell you if they are continuing to drink every time you miss, then you need to do it more. If they're just hiding from the miss because they're already hydrated, you don't need to do it as much. And then you also add on depending upon what they need as far as cooling. But nobody can give you a schedule. It really has to be every outdoors is not stable, and nobody's got the same thing. And it changes with the humidity too. Like when the winds come in from the desert, I can just put the misters on and have them go on all day. I've done that at times when it's got really bad. But when the wind changes and it comes in from the ocean, I don't have to do it. So you just have to try it. Just work with it. So So all right. Okay, everybody. I want to say thank you very, very much for joining me this Tuesday. Oh, we got to say, okay, got to do the real cool exit as I disappear in the fog. Whew. All right, there we go. Okay, that's not much of a smoke screen, but we're going to pretend, all right? Suspend your disbelief. Goodbye, all. Do, 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 do.